Shalom Israel, Chaim-Yah, Yahweh.
Kalev Yasharala.
Today's topic gonna be jewels. Again, the topic is gonna be jewels. We're gonna kick it off like we always do. John 8:32 states what, family?
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
One more time.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Okay, let's get right on into that thing. Let's start with Romans chapter 15, verse 4. Come on.
The book of Romans chapter 15, verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope.
Bring it out again, huh?
For whatsoever things were written aforetime,
things written in the Old Testament and from our forefathers,
were written for our learning.
They were written for us to find our way back in line of what they were doing. Come on.
That we, through patience
of looking through the scriptures diligently, come on,
and comfort,
and through finding out what they did, it gives us a comfort for today in 2017
of the scriptures might have hope.
That we'll have a hope that we are doing the right things, man, and that we'll get a chance to make it into the kingdom. Let's go now to Isaiah chapter 28, verse 10. Come on.
The book of Isaiah chapter 28, verse 10.
Come on.
For precept must be upon precept. Precept upon precept. Line upon line. Line upon line. Here a little and there a little.
Come on. Read it one more time.
For precept must be upon precept. Precept upon precept. Line upon line. Line upon line. Here a little and there a little.
Because that's the only way you're going to get real understanding out this book. Read the top of that one more time for me, y'all.
For precept must.
Stop. Must. What the term must? Mandatory. Mandatory that we read it this way. Come on.
Be upon precept. Precept upon precept. Line upon line. Line upon line. Here a little and there a little.
Now let's get a precept. 2 Timothy. Chapter 2, verse 15. 2 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 15. Come on.
The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 15. Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth.
Read it one more time.
Study to show thyself approved unto God.
This is the only way you're going to get approved unto God, by finding your own way, what we just read in Romans 15 and 4. Come on.
A workman that needeth not to be ashamed.
You won't be ashamed of your works after you studied. Come on.
Rightly dividing the word of truth.
Rightfully divided, meaning putting each one column in columns where they go. That's the same thing as precept. Here a little and there a little. Now let's go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 21. Come on.
The book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 21. Prove all things.
Do what?
Prove all things.
Come on.
Hold fast that which is good.
Hold fast to what you know to be good when you find out. Throw the rest of that garbage away, man. Now let's go to Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. Come on.
The book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 7. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground.
From what?
Of the dust of the ground.
From what?
Of the dust of the ground.
Come on.
And breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And man became a living soul.
He became what?
A living soul.
I got a little experiment for all the viewers out there. So we got some water here. And we got some dust from the ground. Thus saith the Most High. Y'all see what color that is, huh? Read that scripture again.
And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground.
That's what Adam looked like. Come on.
And breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And man became a living soul.
Now let's go to Genesis chapter 35, verse 22 through 26. Come on.
The book of Genesis, chapter 35, verses 22 through 26. And it came to pass, when Israel dwelt in that land, that Reuben went and lay with Bilhah, his father's concubine. And Israel heard it. Now the sons of Jacob were 12, the sons of Leah, Reuben, Jacob's firstborn, and Simeon, and Levi, and Judah, and Issachar, and Zebulun, the sons of Rachel, Joseph, and Benjamin, and the sons of Bilhah, Rachel's handmaid, Dan and Naphtali, and the sons of Zalpah, Leah's handmaid, Gad and Asher. These are the sons of Jacob, which were born to him in Pandaram.
These are the Lord's jewels. These are the Lord's jewels. Exodus chapter 4, verse 6 through 7. Exodus chapter 4, verse 6 and 7. Come on.
The book of Exodus, chapter 4, verses 6 and 7. And the Lord said furthermore unto him, put now thy hand into thy bosom.
So now we talking to Moses right here to bring you up to par what the scriptures is talking about. Come on.
And he put his hand into his bosom.
He put his hand into his bosom.
And when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow.
It was white as snow, man. Come on.
And he said, put thine hand into thy bosom again.
Do that thing again. Come on.
And he put his hand into his bosom again. And plucked it out of his bosom. And behold, it was turned again as his other flesh.
It looked the same way as his other hand, man. Job chapter 30, verse 30. Showing you what the Lord's jewels are. Showing you what the Lord's jewels are. Who his people are. Who his jewels are. Come on.
The book of Job, chapter 30, verse 30. My skin is black upon me.
It is what?
Black upon me.
Read it again.
My skin is black upon me.
Yeah, this is Job talking.
And my bones are burned with heat.
Now let's go to Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. Get a little deeper in these jewels. Bring it out.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourneth.
They do what?
Mourneth. And the gates thereof languish.
Our leaders and stuff, come on.
They are black unto the ground.
They are what?
They are black unto the ground.
Read it from the top again.
Judah mourneth.
Judah is we are the inhabitants of Judah, so we are the Jews. Come on.
And the gates thereof languish.
Our gates go into our authority, our leaders and stuff. Come on.
They are black unto the ground.
Come on.
And the cry of Jerusalem is gone up.
Our cry has made it all the way to heaven, man. Acts chapter 21 and verse 39. Acts chapter 21, verse 39. Come on.
The book of Acts chapter 21 and verse 39. But Paul said, I am a man which am a Jew of Tarsus.
He is a what?
I am a man which am a Jew.
We just read about the description of what the Jews were. So Paul saying he's a what? Start from the top again.
But Paul said, I am a man which am a Jew.
A black man, come on.
Of Tarsus.
Come on.
A city in Sicilia. A citizen of no mean city. And I beseech thee, suffer me to speak unto the people.
Now let's go to Lamentations chapter 5, verse 10. Lamentations chapter 5, verse 10. Come on.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 5 and verse 10. Our skin was black like an oven.
And say what?
Our skin was black like an oven.
I don't know, but this was the native Indians right here. Read that.
Our skin was black like an oven.
Come on.
Because of the terrible famine.
Yeah, the white folks had ate all our food, man. Chapter 4, verse 8. Chapter 4, verse 8. Same book. Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 8. Come on.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 8. Their visage is blacker than a coal.
What did the Israelites look like? Read it again.
Their visage is blacker than a coal.
Kind of sound like Yahweh Shai Revelations. Come on.
They are not known in the streets. Their skin cleaveth to their bones. It is withered. It has become like a stick.
Daniel chapter 7, verse 9. Daniel chapter 7 and verse 9. Come on.
The book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down.
What?
I beheld till the thrones were cast down.
Daniel was looking at the thrones in their final estate. Come on.
And the Ancient of Days did sit.
The Ancient of who?
Days did sit.
This is Yahweh Shai, because he existed before days ever existed and going to be around long after they expire. Come on.
Whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool.
So now we're getting some more description of what his people, the jewels, or what he talking about. Come on.
His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire.
We would read that again, just verse 9.
I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit.
Yahweh, come on.
Whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool.
The hair of his head was like what?
The pure wool.
Like what?
Pure wool.
Yeah, the texture of his hair was like the pure wool. Come on, now we're going to Daniel chapter 10, verse 6. Daniel chapter 10 and verse 6. Come on.
The book of Daniel, chapter 10, verse 6. His body also was like the beryl.
It was like the what?
The beryl.
He had on the green garment. Come on.
And his face as the appearance of lightning.
He looked like a superhero. His face was glowing. Come on.
And his eyes as lamps of fire.
Looked like his eyes had some type of fire, power in them things. Come on.
And his arms and his feet.
His arms and his feet. Come on.
Like in color to polished brass.
Like in color to polished brass. The only way to polish brass is put it in the furnace, man. It's put it in the furnace, man. Acts chapter 13, verse 1. Acts chapter 13 and verse 1. Come on.
The book of Acts chapter 13, verse 1. Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called nigger.
They was called what?
Nigger.
They was called what?
Nigger.
Another word for black man. Come on.
And Lucius of Cyrene and Manaen, which had been brought up with Herod the Tetrarch and Saul.
That's right. Now let's go to the Songs of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5. Songs of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 5. We find out more about the jewels and what they look like to the Most High, Yahweh. We're going to find out about the jewels that he created. Come on.
The book of the Song of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5. I am black.
I am what?
I am black.
I am what?
I am black.
Come on.
But comely.
But meaning beautiful. Come on.
O ye daughters of Jerusalem.
Because I'm talking to the ladies. Come on.
As the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon.
Read that again.
I am black.
I am what?
I am black.
I am what?
I am black.
Come on.
But comely.
But beautiful. Come on.
O ye daughters of Jerusalem.
And you know how we do when we get ready. We getting ready for the ladies. Come on.
As the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon.
Jump down to verse 10.
The book of the Song of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 10.
Bring it out.
Thy cheeks are comely with rows of jewels.
Read that again.
Thy cheeks.
My cheeks
are comely.
Are beautiful.
With rows of jewels.
He was grilled out, man. Solomon was grilled out, man. This part of our heritage, man. This the thing we did. Read that again.
Thy cheeks are comely with rows of jewels.
Come on.
Thy neck with chains of gold.
Solomon was grilled out, man. This the thing it did, and it said comely meaning beautiful, man. Let's get to John chapter 14 and verse 9. John chapter 14 and verse 9. Come on.
The book of John chapter 14 verse 9. Jesus saith unto him, Have I been so long time with you, and yet hast thou not known me. Philip.
So now he's talking to Philip and the rest of the disciples. Come on.
He that has seen me,
Him that seen me,
has seen the Father.
I look just like my daddy, man. Read that thing again.
Jesus saith unto him, Have I been so long with you, and yet hast thou not known me, Philip?
We've been kicking it this whole time, man, and you ain't paid attention to what I've been telling you. Come on.
He that has seen me,
If you seen me,
has seen the Father.
you seen my daddy, man. I look just like him, man.
And how sayest thou then, show us the Father?
How you gonna ask me to show you the Father, and I've been standing right here in front of you the whole while, man? Revelations chapter 1, verse 13 through 15. Now we're gonna find out and get a description of Yahweh himself. You get a little bit more in that thing, man. Show you what these jewels are according to this Bible. Come on.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1, verses 13 through 15.
Come on.
And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks,
They call it the menorah, man.
one like unto the Son of Man,
Yahweh.
clothed with a garment down to the foot,
Come on.
and girt about the path with a golden girdle. His head and his hair.
His what?
His head and his hair.
His what?
His head and his hair.
Come on.
Were white like wool.
Like this junk up under here. Come on.
As white as snow.
It was white as snow in the color it was. Come on.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
His eyes was a flame of fire. Genesis 49 and 12 tell you that he drunk wine. Come on.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
His feet like what?
Fine brass.
His feet like what?
Fine brass.
Yeah, the same thing he said about his daddy, man. He just told you that when he told the disciples.
As if they burned in a furnace.
As if they what?
As if they burned in a furnace.
He was a very dark complected man. Come on, read that again.
And his feet like unto fine brass. As if they burned in a furnace. And his voice as the sound of many waters.
He spoke very loud. Ain't that a black brother? Revelation chapter 5 verse 9.
Verse 5.
Revelation chapter 5 verse 9. Come on.
The book of Revelation chapter 5 verse 9. And they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book, and to open the seals thereof. For thou wast slain, and hast redeemed us to God by the blood out of every kindred, and tongue, and people, and nation.
These are his jewels that he had been gathered up before him in the second coming right here. Now let's go to Hebrews chapter 7 verse 14. Hebrews chapter 7 verse 14. Come on.
The book of Hebrews chapter 7 and verse 14. For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah.
He sprang where?
Out of Judah.
He sprang where?
Out of Judah.
He was from the tribe of Judah, man. Just the same thing as all of us are, man. Read that one more time.
For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah.
Right.
Of which tribe Moses spoke nothing concerning priesthood.
Now let's get Genesis chapter 1 verse 26 and 27. Genesis chapter 1 verse 26 and 27. Come on.
The book of Genesis chapter 1 verse 26 and 27.
Come on.
Excuse me. And God said, Let us make man in our image.
Hold on. He said what?
Let us make man in our image.
All these descriptions we getting, that's the image of a black man. Come on.
After our likeness.
After our likeness, another black man. Come on.
And let them have dominion over the fish of the sea.
Let them rule that thing. Come on.
And over the fowl of the air.
Come on.
And over the cattle. And over all the earth. And over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him.
So we were created in the image of the Most High Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai.
Male and female created he them.
Not only did he make us, but he made our female in the same image. They went after our image. Go first, we were made in his image. Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 16. Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 16. Come on.
The book of Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 16. Surely your turning of things upside down.
Stop, because the turning of things upside down has been from today's white man. He done turned everything upside down. He got you thinking that you ugly in your black skin, that your nappy hair like wool is ugly, according to him. Read that from the top again, man.
Surely your turning of things upside down.
Because this is what he done did to your brain, man. Come on.
Shall be esteemed as the potter's clay.
He gonna break all of them all this false belief right in front of you and let you know you've been following this. Come on.
For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding?
That's right. Read it from the top, though.
Surely you're turning of things upside down.
Because they done turned your brain upside down. Got you thinking that they the hottest thing. Got you changing your hairstyle, colors. Want you to change your complexion and everything. So you can look more like them, man. When they the beasts, the heathens on this earth, man. Let's go on over now. Let's go to Isaiah 13 and verse 12. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 12. Come on.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold.
He gonna do what?
I will make a man more precious than fine gold.
That man he's talking about is the black man, the Israelites, man. Come on, read that again.
I will make a man more precious than fine gold. Even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir.
And then he gonna make that man purer than the purest gold found on earth. Read. Read it one more time.
I will make a man more precious than fine gold.
The way he gonna make you more precious than fine gold through the circumstances you go through in your life. After you've been through so many ups and downs, you'll know which path to stay on when he done pulled you all the way where you're supposed to be at, man. Come on.
Even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir.
He gonna make you better or more. It costs more than the worth, the hardest, purest gold here on earth, man. Psalm 50 and verse 2. Psalm 50 and verse 2. Come on.
The book of Psalms, chapter 50, verse 2. Out of Zion, the perfection of beauty.
Hold on, say what?
Out of Zion, the perfection of beauty.
Read that one more time, because they got low self-esteem out there when they look in the mirror. Read that one more time.
Out of Zion, the perfection of beauty.
Come on.
God has shined.
He done did what?
Shine.
He has what?
Shine.
Read it from the top.
Out of Zion, the perfection of beauty, God has shined.
Because he says Yahweh shine through the Israelite bloodline, man. That's what he did, man. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6 now. Come on.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
We are a separate people. Come on.
Unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
He made us to be in that #1 spot, man, but they got us reduced to the bottom, man. We pimps, thugs, drug dealers, slut stocks, and all kind of different. Read that again,
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Because this is where we're supposed to be standing with the Lord Yahweh. Come on.
The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Because we the chosen people here. Come on.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Above who?
All people.
Above who?
All people.
Come on.
That are upon the face of the earth.
Okay. Lamentations chapter 2 verse 1. Lamentations chapter 2 verse 1. Come on.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 2 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
How hath the Lord covered the daughter of Zion with a cloud in his anger, and cast down from heaven unto the earth the beauty of Israel.
The what?
The beauty of Israel.
The what?
The beauty of Israel.
Our women is beautiful just like the angels, man. Our women are beautiful just like angels, man. Let's look at Judith chapter 10 now. Grab your apocryphas. Go to the book of Judah, chapter 10, verse 7 and 8. Ain't nobody can stand next to us in our descriptions, man. God say that we are the perfection of beauty. So everything else is second class and everything else, man. We got that #1 spot. We the chosen people, man. Come on.
Reading out the Apocrypha, the book of Judith, chapter 10, verses 7 and 8.
Come on.
And when they saw her, that her countenance was altered and her apparel was changed, they wondered at her beauty.
They did what?
They wondered at her beauty.
They did what?
They wondered at her beauty.
Come on.
Very greatly, and said unto her, the God of our fathers, give thee favor, and accomplish thine enterprises to the glory of the children of Israel, and to the exaltation of Jerusalem. Then they worship God.
Right. She was so beautiful, man. They gave thanks to the Almighty Yahweh about it. Jump down to verse 19 now.
The book of Judith, chapter 10, verse 19.
Come on.
And they wondered at her beauty.
They did what?
They wondered at her beauty.
They did what?
They wondered at her beauty.
Come on.
And admired the children of Israel because of her.
They admired us because of our beautiful women, man. Come on.
And everyone said to his neighbor,
every one of them that seen that thing, they said to their neighbor,
who would despise this people?
Who would kill all the brothers? Come on.
That have among them such women.
That have them such women. They have beautiful women. Man, we'll kill all the brothers and take their women to ourselves. Come on.
Surely it is not good that one man of them be left.
They wanted to kill us all behind how beautiful our women was, man.
Who being let go might deceive the whole earth.
Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 10 through 16. Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 10 through 16. Come on.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 16, verses 10 through 16.
Come on.
I clothed thee also with broad work, and shod thee with badger skin, and I girded thee about with fine linen, and I covered thee with silk. I decked thee also with ornaments, and I put bracelets upon thy hands, and a chain on thy neck, and I put a jewel on thy forehead, and earrings in thine ears, and a beautiful crown upon thine head. Thus wast thou decked with gold and silver, and thy raiment was of fine linen, and silk, and broad work. Thou didst eat fine flour, and honey, and oil, and thou wast exceeding beautiful, and thou didst prosper into a kingdom, and thy renown went forth among the heathen for thy beauty, for it was perfect through my comeliness.
It was what?
It was perfect through my comeliness.
Come on.
Which I had put upon thee, says the Lord God. But thou didst trust in thine own beauty, and playedst the harlot because of thy renown.
What we did?
Played the harlot because of thy renown.
It's just like black people, we get caught up in ourselves, man. Come on.
And pourest out thy fornications on everyone that passed by. As it was. And of thy garments thou didst take, and decked thy high places with diverse colors, and played the harlot thereupon. The like thing shall not come, neither shall it be so.
God had, your Most High Yahweh had made us perfect, man. But we sinned against the Most High. We got all caught up in ourselves, man. You know how we do. We do it still now in 2017. John chapter 10, verse 34. We do that same thing right now, man. Come on.
The book of John chapter 10, verse 34. Jesus answered them, it is not written in your law.
They say what?
It is not written in your law. I say, ye are gods.
Start from the top again. Started from the top.
Jesus answered them, is it not written in your law? That's right.
Come on.
I say, ye are gods.
Ye are what?
Ye are gods.
Ye are what?
Ye are gods.
We the gods of this earth, man. They got us reduced to slaves here, man. Come on. Now let's go to Psalms chapter 82, verse 6. Psalms 82, verse 6. Come on.
The book of Psalms, chapter 82, verse 6.
Come on.
I have said, ye are gods.
They said again, we are what?
Ye are gods. And all of you are children of the Most High.
Who are we children of?
The Most High.
We are the children of the Most High. Yahweh. That's who our Father is, man. That's why we're not supposed to call any other man Father. Isaiah chapter 4, verse 2. Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 2. Come on.
The book of Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 2. In that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious.
What the branch of the Lord gonna be?
Beautiful and glorious.
Come on.
And the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel.
The remnant that have done escape all the destruction that's come. Read that again.
In that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious. And the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel.
Excellent and beautiful, man, of those who have escaped. That's going to be the ones who have made it into the new heaven, man. Genesis chapter 12, verse 11. Come on.
The book of Genesis, chapter 12, and verse 11. And it came to pass, when he was come near to enter into Egypt, that he said unto Sarai, his wife, Behold now, I know that thou art a fair woman to look upon.
Read it again.
And it came to pass, when he was come near to enter into Egypt, that he said unto Sarai, his wife.
This is Abraham talking to his wife. Come on.
Behold now, I know that thou art a fair woman to look upon.
I know you beautiful. I know you beautiful to look upon. So he knew they was going to try to kill him and take his wife. So he devised a plan to keep his life, to keep his head on his shoulders. Genesis chapter 24, verse 15 and 16. Show you a little bit more about these jewels. Come on.
The book of Genesis, chapter 24, verses 15 and 16.
Come on.
And it came to pass, before he had done speaking, that behold, Rebekah came out, who was born to Bethuel, son of Maacah, the wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother, with her pitcher upon her shoulder. And the damsel was very fair to look upon.
She was what?
Very fair to look upon.
She was beautiful, man. Come on.
A virgin, neither had any man known her.
That made it even more beautiful. Come on.
And she went down to the well and filled her pitcher and came up.
And then she was doing some labors, man. That made it even more beautiful. Chapter 29, verse 17. Genesis chapter 29 and verse 17. Come on.
The book of Genesis, chapter 29 and verse 17.
Come on.
Leah was tender-eyed.
Leah was what?
Tender-eyed.
Come on.
But Rachel was beautiful and well-favored.
But Rachel was what?
Beautiful and well-favored.
Make like Y.E. Coyote, make your jaw drop off and then you have to put that thing back in place. Read that one more time.
Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored.
She was built like a brick house with what the scriptures get described. Job chapter 42, verse 15. That's why the brother worked 14 years for it. Job chapter 42 and verse 15. Come on.
The book of Job chapter 42 and verse 15.
Bring it out.
And in all the land were no women found so fair as the daughters of Job.
Come read that again.
And in all the land were no women found so fair as the daughters of Job.
Job had the baddest daughters in the whole world, man. 2 Samuel now, chapter 11, verse 2 and 3. 2 Samuel, chapter 11, verse 2 and 3. Job had the baddest daughters in all the world, man. Come on.
The book of 2 Samuel, chapter 11, verses 2 and 3. And it came to pass in an eventide that David arose from off his bed and walked upon the roof of the king's house. And from the roof he saw a woman washing herself. And the woman was very beautiful to look upon.
She was what?
Very beautiful to look upon.
An Israelite, a daughter of Sarah. Come on.
And David sent and inquired after the woman.
She was so pretty, it made him sit down and start thinking, man. Come on.
And one said, Is not this Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite.
Esther chapter 1, verse 11 now. Come on.
The book of Esther, chapter 1, verse 11. To bring Vashti, the queen, before the king with the crown royal, to show the people and the princess her beauty, for she was fair to look on.
She was what?
She was fair to look on.
She was beautiful, man. Come on. That's it. 1 Samuel chapter 9, verse 2. Come on.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 9 and verse 2.
Uh-huh.
And he had a son, whose name was Saul, a choice young man and a goodly. And there was not among the children of Israel a goodlier person than he.
Right.
From his shoulders and upward, he was higher than any of the people.
Right, because we just ain't going to talk about the women. There's some good-looking brothers always been in our nation too, man. Come on.
That's it. That's it.
Proverbs chapter 20, verse 29. Come on.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 20, verse 29.
Come on.
The glory of young men is their strength, and the beauty of old men is the gray head.
Read that again.
The glory of young men is their strength.
So that the young people got a strong back. Come on.
And the beauty of old men is the gray head.
The gray hair, we know something, man. We ain't got to do all that competing and stuff. Come on. 1 Samuel 16 and verse 12. 1 Samuel 16 and 12. Come on.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 16 and verse 12. And he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy, and withal of a beautiful countenance, and goodly to look to. And the Lord said, Arise, anoint him, for this is he.
Read that again, huh?
And he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy, and withal of a beautiful countenance, and goodly to look to. And the Lord said, Arise, anoint him, for this is he.
Let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 14, verse 25 now. We always had beautiful women and good-looking brothers, man, in our nation, man. We ain't never need to mix or mingle with the other nations, man. Come on.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 14, verse 25.
Bring it out.
And all they of the land came to a wood, and there was honey upon the ground.
Uh-huh. Read it one more again.
And all they of the land came to a wood, and there was honey upon the ground.
Ezra chapter 23, verse 6. Yeah, Ezekiel. What I said?
Ezekiel 23 and 6.
Uh-huh. Ezekiel chapter 23 and verse 6. Come on.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 23 and verse 6, which were clothed with blue, captains and rulers, all of them desirable young men, horsemen riding upon horses.
Read that again.
Which were clothed with blue, captains and rulers, all of them desirable young men.
Right. We always done had desirable young men in our nation.
Horsemen riding upon horses.
Because when you was on horse, that meant you was of statue. You had royalty and stuff. Isaiah chapter 28 and verse 5 now. Isaiah chapter 28 and verse 5 now. Come on.
The book of Isaiah chapter 28 and verse 5. In that day shall the Lord of hosts be for a crown of glory.
Gonna be for what?
A crown of glory.
Come on.
And for a diadem of beauty.
What?
A diadem of beauty.
That's right.
Unto the residue of his people.
Until the remnant of his people. The last ones left, man. We ain't gonna lose their beautiful. That beautiful. We gonna get even more in depth with that thing. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 11. Come on.
The book of Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 11. He has made everything beautiful in his time.
He did what?
He has made everything beautiful in his time.
So why everybody in our nation got low self-esteem? It goes back to the verse we read earlier, the turning of things upside down. This was did to our people by the white man. Read that again, Op.
He has made everything beautiful in his time. Also, he has set the world in their heart, so that no man can find out the work that God maketh from the beginning to the end.
From the beginning to the end. We were the first thing, you know, that had class. And we're going to be the last something that's going to reign forever with class, man. Malachi chapter 3, verse 17. Come on.
The book of Malachi chapter 3, verse 17. And they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts.
They going to be whose?
And they shall be mine.
He's talking about the Israelites. Come on.
Saith the Lord of hosts.
Said Yahweh. Come on.
In that day when I make up my jewels, and I will
in that day when he makes what?
Make up my jewels.
Come on.
And I will spare them, as a man spares his own son that serveth him.
Read that again, Op.
And they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts. In that day, when I make up my jewels.
When he make what?
Make up my jewels.
When he make what?
Make up my jewels.
One more time, Op.
Make up my jewels.
Come on.
And I will spare them, as a man spares his own son that serveth him.
We are the jewels. So today we just seen that the Israelites are the most high jewels. The black man, the black sister, all of us in this nation, we are the most high jewels. Jewels. When you bust that down, they say Jew-els. Jew-els means God. So we are the Jew gods. Just what the scripture said back. And with that, from the Judah Knights of Israel, we say shalom.
Shalom.